Under the conspiracy of the World Tree, a large number of data gaps appeared in the digital world, and a large number of digital beasts unfortunately turned into digital eggs and fell into the human world. In response to this, humans in the new century established the Institute of Veterans Trainers to train humans with digital beasts to become trainers in case of emergencies. A few years later, in 2099, the Royal Knights suffered the most serious infighting in history due to the World Tree. Alpha beasts were designed to enter the human world and turn into digital eggs by resisting the World Tree. The burst of energy filled the gap and ushered in a brief peace, but everything was just beginning under the cover of a ray of light. Chapter 0. Starting from scratch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For some unknown reason, the digital world began to experience a large number of data gaps, the digital world collapsed, and the strongest virus storm in history struck. 13 legendary knights worked hard to save them, but countless unfortunate digital beasts were still involved, turning into digital eggs and falling into the human world. Therefore, humans who entered the new century established the Digital Veterans Association and the Veterans Training Academy, which recruited and trained all humans who found and hatched digital eggs to become powerful trainers for unexpected needs. Digimon can register and live in the human world with its partners at the association branch. As for why there are gaps in the digital world. Why did the digital egg fall into the human world? Humanity has never stopped exploring, but everything remains a mystery. But there have also emerged outstanding animal trainers among humans. The 7 great princes, who were outstanding among the first generation of students. They once invaded the human world with a viral storm, and it was they and their partners who resisted and saved the human world. Everything developed in an orderly manner until 2099. A special event occurred between the Royal Knights and the World Tree. The conference room door opened and a black figure walked in. You finally came. Before the World Tree could finish speaking, the figure spoke up first. World Tree, what do you want to do? Don't be unreasonable. Who allowed you to talk to the World Tree Lord like this? The Dunas beast roared at his rudeness. I'm unreasonable. Stop making trouble with the Dunas beast. Aren't you going out today with your brain? It's been a long time since things started, and now our world and human world are merging more and more seriously. We're working hard to repair the World Tree, but there's no movement. What's more serious is how such a strong virus storm could have been just caused by world migration. World Tree, aren't you planning to give us an explanation? The black figure glanced at him contemptuously. Hugh. The Dunas beast was clearly choked by the words just now. Everyone shut up. You two haven't figured out what's going on yet, so we can't make hasty conclusions. We're all very anxious about such a big thing, but the more it's like this, the more we need to calm down. Omega interrupted their argument. Okay, now I just want to ask Lord World Tree, what is your plan? And how do you plan to solve this problem? The black figure shrugged. I have already said that with the changing times, we must transform our world, otherwise bad things will happen in the digital world. As for the virus storm, it is just a mutation that appears in expansion, and it will naturally disappear in a period of time. You only need to do well in defense and rescue work. The World Tree said. For a moment, the conference room fell into a deathly silence. For a long time, the black figure spoke with a sarcastic tone. Oh, are you trying to devour the human world to expand the digital world? Alpha Beast, pay attention to your words. Omega Beast was greatly dissatisfied with his attitude. The black figure, known as the Alpha Beast, ignored the Omega Beast and said to himself, let humans become slaves to the Digimon to achieve the so-called perfect world in your heart. No one noticed his clenched fist. And then, let humanity take the path towards extinction, ruling over 2 worlds, dimensions, and even parallel time and space, freely living and killing, while we are just tools for achieving your ambitions, can we casually discard them? The Alpha Beast stood up and walked forward. The Red Lotus Knight Beast stood in front of him and said, don't think too much, Alpha Beast, things aren't that complicated. It's not that complicated. When we were selected as royal knights, we swore eternal loyalty to the world tree and forever guarded the digital world. We did the first thing, but the second thing is that we are indeed guarding order, but the behavior of the world tree is nominally for the digital world and for the digital beasts, but more and more digital beasts are suffering innocently. And he paused and said, why did the digital egg land in the human world? To be honest, I have never seen an expansion to invade other worlds. We can definitely use other parallel worlds to better achieve our goals. The Red Lotus Knight remained silent and looked at the world tree. I can't understand why you care about a world that has nothing to do with us, Alpha Beast. The world tree spoke coldly. Humph, the Alpha Beast sneered, you're admitting it, world tree. He flew up with a dangerous red light in his eyes. I have nothing to do with the human world, but the actions of the world tree have seriously disrupted the order of the two worlds, which goes against our original intention to join the royal knight and the responsibilities we bear. Since I have chosen the position of royal knight, I should strictly abide by my duties as a knight, complete my mission, and not waver with the changes of my superiors. After finishing his words, the silent Jess Beast spoke up and said, Alpha Beast, I know you really want to change the fate of two worlds, but what ability do you have now? Come down first, and besides. He looked meaningfully at the world tree and said, if you openly go to war with the Lord of the World Tree now, it won't change anything. You still have the possibility. I don't need to say more. After that, he walked out. The Alpha Beast pondered for a moment, truly the companion who knew him best. He could see through his thoughts through his words and actions. He glanced at the world tree and followed him out. Sure enough, Jess Beast was waiting for him outside. Indeed, he had just noticed the Alpha Beast's clenched fists and trembling body, and felt his determination. But now all you can do is work hard to make up for it, he said, which is both a dissatisfaction with the world tree and a concern for close friends. The friendship within has already been expressed to the fullest. That's all, the Alpha Beast sighed, ready to sacrifice. Perhaps you can contact the other knights one by one, so that your chances of winning can be higher, but I want to ask you, what does the human world mean to you? Jessie Beast's gaze was firm. Looking at my close friend's gaze, the Alpha Beast self-deprecatingly smiled and said, to you, the human world is just a world that is so simple, but I can only tell you this. The human world carries too many memories of mine, so don't ask the rest. Jess Beast, who was sensible, stopped questioning and talked about his plan. The Dunas Beast is fighting for justice and can use this to attack him. The Red Lotus Knight Beast has already been slightly dissatisfied with the World Tree, let alone the Shrews Beast. As for my master, he will definitely stand on my side. So you also plan to help me? The Alpha Beast felt warm. Oh, after all, no one wants to give up such a beautiful world. Ah. The Beast suddenly knelt down in pain, what's wrong? The Alpha Beast quickly asked. Suddenly, a cold wind broke through the sky. The Alpha Beast instinctively dodged, turned around, and saw the Omega Beast transform into an X-antibody form and swing a sword at him. Then, a dragon flew towards him, which was clearly the move of the King Beast's X-antibody. The Alpha Beast dared not neglect. King Dragon Sword. He roared loudly, and a sword was drawn out from the crack in time and space. The Alpha Beast's King Dragon Sword form appeared. He dodged two waves of attacks and flew into the air, then another devastating hit hit him. He opened an unknown domain and was about to enter, but was grabbed by a big hand and pulled out. It was the Axa Beast X antibody. Damn it! The mocking voice of the World Tree echoed in the air. Their X antibodies were all given by me, and it's difficult for you to control. Therefore, for the sake of the world, God will grant you the sacrifice you wish for. Stop talking nonsense. We don't need a god like you. The Alpha Beast shouted as it ran away. Oh. And what about them? All the royal knights appeared in front of them as they spoke. At this moment, he noticed that their eyes were shining with a strange white light. They were all controlled by the world tree. The alpha beast cursed inwardly, opened the portal and crawled in. The king dragon's sword in his hand flew out uncontrollably, revealing its original form. The king dragon beast also became a puppet of the world tree due to the X antibody. Why doesn't the world tree control itself? Did he want to make himself? Before he could think it over, the king dragon beast kicked him out, facing all the royal knights' ultimate moves. No. He only had a chance to make a half sound when he saw the familiar figure appear. It was him. Swung the final sword at oneself. He fell into the human world, and with one last glance, he saw the complex gaze of the jester beast. He closed his eyes and said, "Is this the end?" The alpha beast transformed into a digital egg and fell. In the vast conference room, the royal knights sat silently around the world tree. Their memories of that battle had been erased by the world tree. The betrayal of the alpha beast caused the fall, and the burst of power filled the collapse, eliminating the storm. Warriors, continue to cheer. The conference room, which was missing one person, echoed the mechanical voice of the world tree, and the voice of opposition would never appear again. The news broadcasted the good news that the digital world had stopped falling, and the whole world was celebrating. A 17-year-old boy ran home with light steps, suddenly looked up, feeling like something was coming. The plan of the world tree is still ongoing, and the conspiracy has begun. Is it just a human? Will he achieve his wish? When that peculiar digital egg emitted a dazzling light, the counterattack had just begun. Chapter 1. We are partners. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Yuan Aurora stared nervously at this strange digital egg. It had fallen next to him 3 days ago and almost hit him. In theory, the digital eggs picked up by humans will hatch soon, but it has been 3 days now and there is no sign of breaking the shell. This made Aurora, who was already eager to become a beast tamer, extremely anxious. He tried various methods, but did not hatch. His parents also felt strange about this, as they prepared the Aurora psychologically, which could be a bad egg that cannot hatch. My parents went to work at the Digital Research Institute early in the morning. I heard that there was some chaos in the digital world that may affect the human world, so I started working last week. Aurora no longer takes it for granted and skillfully takes out self-heating rice from the refrigerator to heat it up. In no time, Aurora, who had finished everything, glanced at the stuffy digital egg with rice in his hand and opened the news with a light sigh. It was the leader of the digital world, the world tree, who was spreading the message to the human world. Aurora held his breath and straightened up to listen attentively, but soon he collapsed on the sofa. He couldn't understand it all. But it seems like a royal knight named Alpha Beast has escaped to the human world, muttering and shaking his head as he prepares to eat. Suddenly, with a click, he froze. The sound was very quiet, but it was clearly transmitted to his ears. Aurora instinctively looked at the motionless digital egg, and it surprisingly cracked a small crack. He ran over excitedly, his hands trembling as he picked up the digital beast guidebook his father had compiled, eagerly waiting for his own digital beast to break through its shell. He even began to fantasize about having a future with digital beasts. Click. With another sound, the crack grew bigger and bigger, until a purple fluffy head broke out of its shell. Aurora immediately opened the guidebook and said, "Oh my." I saw the purple thing looking left and right, suddenly turning towards me with a fierce light in its eyes. Suddenly, it opened its mouth and swallowed the guidebook in Aurora's hand, almost biting his finger. What's going on? Isn't it that newborn baby Digimon doesn't have aggression? The purple hairy ball didn't care about that much and jumped directly onto Aurora's face, pouncing and biting. What a damn thing! Aurora screamed in pain. After finally pulling it down, this guy struggled desperately again, shouting incessantly, and suddenly spewing out energy particles from his mouth and hitting Aurora's face. My eyes! Aurora released his hand in pain, and the thing rushed onto the table, swallowing Aurora's breakfast in one gulp, then staring at the TV with a serious expression. Finally quiet. Aurora sat panting in a chair, observing the digital beast. Its entire body covered in purple short hair, only its mouth white, with a pair of golden small eyes and 2 animal ears. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Who is it? I saw a girl about my age standing outside the door with a smile on her face from the surveillance footage. She looks familiar, but who is she? Aurora twisted the door lock and only opened a small gap. The fur ball quickly rushed out of the door, and the girl instinctively took a step back. Sorry. The Aurora quickly chased after them until it was about to go downstairs before catching them. It wriggled desperately again and struggled to come out and pounce at the door. Please be quiet. The girl stood at the door, smiling as they tossed and turned inside the house. The Aurora, whose face was covered in injuries from being bitten, rushed out and closed the door. The room remained silent, emitting thunderous impacts. That's it, this guy's angry, he awkwardly turned to the girl. I'm sorry, you've seen it too. It's a bit difficult to control, why don't you come back another day? The girl shook her head lightly and opened the door. You don't want to live anymore. Aurora quickly stopped her reckless behavior. You watch, she turned around and smiled, while Aurora watched as Mao Qiu jumped up. Immediately suddenly, a figure collided with the fur ball and said, my partner, meow meow beast. The girl then gave an order. Meow meow beast, fox tail. The meow meow beast's tail began to expand, and it pulled out, flying the purple fur ball. It pounced, grinning its teeth. The girl quickly generated a small box from her bracelet and threw it out. In the moment it hit the fur ball, it quickly grew larger and trapped it. How amazing! For some reason, Aurora looked at her Digimon trapped inside and felt relieved. Alright, come on in. The girl walked in and sat down. I am a senior messenger at the Digital Veterans Training Academy, responsible for the 3rd enrollment during this period. We will be classmates in the future. Let's talk about this special child first. Oh, no wonder you look a bit familiar. I've seen you on TV, what's your name? Aurora suddenly realized she smiled awkwardly and said, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Fuxing Menye, the daughter of the dean of the college, Fuxing Junfeng. You should know my father. One of the 7 great consuls. Menye was a very beautiful girl, dressed in a white and blue work uniform, with long blue hair draped over her shoulders, fair skin, and 2 big eyes as clear as red agate. A worshipped star appeared in the Aurora's eyes. It's really amazing, he suddenly remembered something. Are you saying that with it, I can enter the academy and become a beast tamer? In theory, it's just a matter of whether it recognizes you or not. Menye looked at the Digimon in the cage. Can you help me see what kind of digital beast this is? It has swallowed my picture book. Menye looked at it for a while, and for the first time, an expression other than a smile appeared on her face. Puzzled. Strange, I haven't seen it either. Why don't you bring it over to my father first? He has a lot of knowledge and should know something. What are you waiting for? Aurora picked up the box, and the fur balls inside began to struggle again. Suddenly, it emitted a white light. Aurora classmate, throw it away quickly, it's evolving. Menye said lightly, maybe it's more destructive. Aha! Aurora quickly threw it away, and sure enough, with a bang sound, the device exploded. Fortunately, Menye opened the protective cover in advance. A bigger purple fur ball. The light dissipated and the Aurora blurted out. What a fitting description. Menye covered her mouth and smiled. The fur ball grew bigger and gave birth to 4 short legs and a tail. It opened its mouth and exposed sharper teeth, aiming at Aurora's head and biting it in one bite. Ah! It hurts, it hurts. Why doesn't this thing relax? It's bleeding. Okay, it's more convenient to carry. Personally, I suggest not dragging it if you don't want it to hurt more. Is it really okay, Xiaomeng, said the Meow Beast with concern. We can only do this for now, as soon as possible, Menya said, holding down the Aurora and teleporting it to the entrance of the college. The teachers and classmates who come and go on campus are all surprised to see this strange guy with a pile of purple hair on his head and an expression that feels like life or death. Yo, Meng Meng, the last new student has arrived. A young man with a hedgehog beast walked over and looked up and down around the Aurora. Finally, his gaze stopped at the furry ball and said, "What the hell is this?" Then he was frightened by its terrifying gaze. Has all the puss beasts evolved? Menya seemed to be very familiar with him. Yeah, I'm the first one in our college, the boy said proudly. Then I'll go first, Dreamy Knight said lightly before preparing to leave. We haven't seen each other for a long time, won't we talk for a while? The boy stopped her. I need to take him to my dad's place first. Didn't you see that he's almost exhausted? Menya felt a bit annoyed. Oh, good, my dream is starting to complain again. The boy ran away with a smile, and Menya's face turned slightly red as he sighed. He wants to run a little slower, haven't you slapped him? Aurora smiled. Are you not in pain anymore? Menya reached out to grab the ball. Wrong, biting deeper. Ah, it hurts. Aurora felt the ball biting deeper and deeper. Menya chuckled and said, let's go quickly. The dean's office finally arrived. Father, come and help me quickly. What's wrong, Xiaomeng? You're so anxious. Fusheng Junfeng walked out and saw a magical scene. A purple ball tightly biting a young man's head, and the boy's blood had already flowed back into a river. How are you? I have tried, but the healing ability of the Meow and Meow Beast is ineffective. It seems like they need to take that thing off, Menya quickly explained. I'll give it a try. Junfeng reached out and grabbed Mauchio. Don't touch it. Aurora shouted. Believe in my father, Menya held down the Aurora, and the dean took action bare-handed, unexpectedly pulling that thing down. Then it glared fiercely and rushed towards the dean, Pa. The Gao beast, who had been in the dark all along, punched out. As it passed, the purple hair ball was thrown away, leaving its opponent several times taller and helpless in place, furious. This is my father's partner, the Garu beast, which is the phantom Garu beast. Meow 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 beast. Meow 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 beast activated a healing aura. Thank you for saving my life. Aurora gratefully said to the father and daughter, and then hid behind the Gao beast to scrutinize the purple hairball. The Gao beast pushed him to the dean. Kid, this is the first time I've seen you almost killed by your partner Digimon, joked Junfeng of Aurora. I don't know either, isn't it that the young Digimon is easy to get along with? Aurora explained in frustration. To get along well with it, you first need to understand it. Have you checked the picture book? Junfeng shook his head. It ate my guidebook. Aurora continued to say with regret. Menya reminded Junfeng, Father, I haven't seen this digital beast in any information either. Oh. By the way, I haven't seen it either, he pondered for a moment before suddenly standing up. Is it difficult? Gaoga, come with me. He saw the Gaoga beast follow the dean into a compartment. Menya's face changed and she murmured to herself, I don't know. Aurora noticed that both of them had different expressions and curiously asked, what? She regained her senses and quickly burst into a perfect smile. It's nothing, my father never goes into the top secret archives unless. Unless for what? Aurora looked bewildered. When he comes out, you will know. The content of your conversation will be recorded in the top secret file, and I cannot know. I will go to work on the opening ceremony first. After she finished speaking, she left the room. Now only Aurora is left to confront Purple Hairball. He swallowed and said, "Hey, are you really my partner? Don't bite me yet, let's talk. I know you can speak." Mao Qiu snorted coldly, "Who said we're going to be partners?" Seeing that Mao Qiu didn't recognize him, Aurora quickly explained anxiously, "But you were hatched by me. Does that mean I recognize you, rascal?" Mao Qiu, "Cut, we'll have to spend some more time together to get used to it." Aurora suddenly realized. "No, I plan to go my own way after going out." Mao Qiu smiled proudly. "Then you are in danger." A low voice sounded, and the dean appeared behind them at some point. "In our world, the law is very strict. Unregistered digital beasts will be ordered to be arrested by the upper echelons and lose their freedom forever. More importantly," he looked at Mao Qiu, "a special and dangerous existence like you may be wiped out on the spot." The words, "erase," made one person and one beast shudder. "No, it's my digital beast, it's my partner." Aurora hugged Mao Qiu. "I'm so annoyed." Mao Qiu became angry and wanted to break free. "So before the situation becomes less serious, quickly discard this foolish idea." The dean turned his head to look at the Aurora, jumped off the Gauga beast, and handed a book to the Aurora. "You're lucky, kid, read it yourself. The Digimon of the Unknown Domain. Aurora has heard of it, as if it was compiled by the first generation of consoles." Page 177. Junfeng reminded. "Got it. So you're called Dolly Beast, but I still think Mao Qiu is more fluent." The Dorian beast's eyes were sharp in an instant. It's nothing. A small digital beast from a dangerous unknown domain in its infancy." Aurora's face deteriorated as he read it. The dean seemed to have guessed that he would react in this way. Most of the discovered ultimate evolved Dolly beasts are the ultimate enemy, the multiple battle dragon beasts, who devour everything and are ultimately wiped out. A small portion are the culprits of this digital virus storm. The dead X-beasts, who have lost their self-awareness and will forever enter a state of frenzy, and will eventually be wiped out. The dean looked at the Aurora with concern, as if worried that he would faint the next second. After all, for someone who wants to become a digital animal trainer, this is undoubtedly the biggest blow. Junfeng comforted and said, "There is still a small portion that cannot evolve and remain in a complete state. However, don't be discouraged. This is just the result of current research, and it may evolve into a more powerful Digimon in the future." The boy fell into painful contemplation, and even the noisy Dolly fell silent. "Since we have all entered your information, we need to recruit you as a student. The situation is quite special, and I have given you another option to discard it and draw a new digital egg. After all, Dolly Beast doesn't want to be your partner either." Dolly Beast looked disdainfully at Aurora, but couldn't hide his tense expression in his eyes. Aurora suddenly smiled and said, "No need, I think there is a fate between us, it was my own choice." He firmly said, "I want to create a miracle. My dad said, as long as I don't give up, there will be hope." "Hey, kid, I haven't agreed to be your partner yet." Dolly Beast's tone is no longer as tough as before. "Hee, you were hatched by me, and I can't bear to see you killed by them." "Hey, are you blushing?" "Nothing." Dolly quickly turned his head. "I just saw. If you talk again, do you believe I'll bite you?" No. The dean smiled and looked at each person and beast who were scolding, saying, "Isn't it very similar to us back then, Gauga?" "It's quite similar." The eyes of the Gao beast emitted a soft light. "Okay," the dean placed his hand on Aurora's shoulder. "You're an amazing young man. Alright, I'll arrange for Xiaoming to form a group with you so we can take care of you." "Ah. Thank you, Dean." Aurora was overjoyed. "I declare that from now on, you and your partner Dolly Beast will officially become the new generation of animal trainers in our school. We look forward to you creating great miracles." "Definitely. Dolly Beast, let's go." First, go to the association to register your identity. By the way, the content of our conversation needs to be kept confidential. Xiaomeng told you so. Let's go. Dolly jumped onto his head and waved his short hand. There's no way, who wants us to be partners? Fuxing Junfeng looked at their distant figures and said, Gaoga, I have a premonition that this generation of teenagers will replace us as new legends. I will definitely do it, look forward to it. Chapter 2. Responsibilities of Animal Trainers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as they came out of the dean's office, Aurora was shocked by the scene in front of them. Colorful ribbons fluttering in the wind, balloons flying in the sky, banners and various colored bars for new students to enter the school hanging on the teaching building, and crowds of people already gathered on the playground. How beautiful! Isn't that how it was when I came just now? Dolly stretched lazily. I was bitten by you just now, and it hurts all the time. Aurora explained, and Dolly rolled a huge white eye. After finally squeezing into the playground, she saw Manya walking towards them. She was sweating profusely and her eyes were shining with vitality. You're here. Aurora smiled broadly and said, this is my partner Dolly Beast. Please give me more guidance in the future. My father told me that when school starts, you can join me and call me Little Dream Sister, in the future. Okay, Miss Dream, can I help you with anything? Just finished, is this child called the Dolly Beast? It's quite cute when it quiets down. She reached out to touch the Dolly Beast's head, but it dodged like an electric shock. Aurora rebuked, Dolly Beast, it's impolite. Hee, it's okay. It seems that it will take some time for it to come into contact with me, after all, I've tricked it before. She playfully stuck out her tongue and said, all right, you guys go to the association branch of the college to register your identity. Isn't Xiaomeng just locking you for a moment? As for being so resistant. Aurora asked Dolly Beast on the way to register her identity. Dolly Beast sternly warned Aurora, try to stay away from her in the future. There is a force in her body that I fear, especially every time I am stared at by her red eyes, my heart will furrow and tremble uncontrollably. Ah! It's not that serious, is it? Aurora raised the Dolly Beast in front of him, and seeing its serious gaze, he couldn't help but swallow his saliva. What I'm saying is true, I'm not joking. I always feel like she's not manipulating this body herself. It's like a soulless doll or something. As she spoke, she reached the meeting. Let's talk about it later, let me brainstorm some more sentences, said the Dolly Beast, jumping back onto the extremely bald head. Walking to the front desk, the person in charge of registration noticed the medal on Aurora's body, which was given to him by the dean before departure, stating that it was a special treatment for the Dolly Beast's special circumstances. That you are the special child mentioned by the dean of the college, right? I am. Aurora was a bit nervous. Don't be so nervous, come with me. He walked out of the front desk and teleported the Aurora to a dark room. After turning on the light, the electric current flowed through the patterns on the wall. The next scene surprised the Aurora, which was completely different from the decoration style of the outside world. The sky was as beautiful as the starry sky, with occasional meteors passing by. Several small UFOs were busy, and there was a core-like object floating in the air. The entire room was no longer pitch black and small, but appeared dreamy, ethereal, and full of technology. This is the main ventricle of the human world. The staff saw the confusion of the Aurora and said, the core in the middle is the connection point between the human world and the digital world, and also serves as the central point for studying unknown digital things. He casually gestured in the air a few times before a scanner appeared out of thin air. Little stars twinkle in the eyes of the Aurora. It's so cool. This is the midpoint of human technology, so no matter what happens here, it's not surprising, even if it's unexpected. The staff shrugged helplessly, and their reaction to the aurora was not strange. Then he pointed to the dolly beast, and a frisbee-shaped object floated over to support it. The disk just now covered it, flashing blue light as if analyzing something. After a while, he threw out a string of information: let's get to know your partner well. The secret technique is to spit out metal droplets while thrusting towards the opponent, which can evolve into multiple beasts, capable of attacking in a straight line. Aurora had just finished reciting, and the disc was folded back into the hands of the staff. The dory beast fell asleep as if drained of power. Don't worry, this is a normal phenomenon of data collection. Immediately after, a bookshelf appeared out of thin air. He pulled out a file folder from it, printed the information of the dolly beast on it, and then scanned the aurora. In the blink of an eye, his information also appeared on it. The file registration is completed, which involves unknown things, so today's matter needs to be kept confidential, kid. Oh. The aurora's metal emitted a dazzling blue light and then disappeared. This is a symbol of completion, you can go back now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Ah. Aurora habitually looked at her watch. What's wrong? Aurora jumped anxiously and said, the school opening ceremony is about to start in 10 minutes. It's over, we're going to be late. Looking at the anxious expression of Aurora, he yawned and said, I see you're in a hurry. It's a big deal. He clapped his hands and then held down Aurora to teleport him back to the academy. Solved, and by the way, I'll meet my old friend. Why is this scene a bit familiar? Forget it, go to the playground. Aurora wanted to rush over immediately. Don't worry, let's see who's here. Fuxing Junfeng hurriedly ran over and immediately patted the person's shoulder. Hello Dean, do you know each other? Aurora was a bit overwhelmed. I don't just know each other. Think about it, who am I when I can freely enter and exit the main ventricle? He smiled slightly. The aurora is once again shrouded in circles, ah. This is damaging, the dean laughed and cursed. Don't worry, let him guess. After a moment of contemplation in the aurora, a sudden spiritual light appeared. Are you Xiandao Jinji, one of the 7 great consuls? No wonder you look a bit familiar. This intelligence is truly the child in your device. Jinji patted Aurora's head with satisfaction. Why are you doing registration work at the branch? Aurora was still puzzled. Let me tell you, this lazy person is completely trying to save trouble. Coincidentally, his partner, the Holy Shield Dragon Beast, has a sharp mind and can calculate huge amounts of data. Why are you willing to give up air conditioning and leave the nest today? He said he was going to be late, so I thought I could help and supervise your work. Jinji proudly straightened his chest. You want to take a few cakes back, right? Junfeng directly exposed his lie. Don't be so straightforward, there's still a child here. Jinji immediately coughed a few times. Junfeng walked towards the playground with the 2 of them. Alright, everyone's here. Aurora, let's go and take this lazy person to see the results of my daughter's arrangement. By the way, are you still unmarried? Do you want to? Junfeng joked as he walked. Forget it, I just want to be a handsome and graceful man. Come on. Aurora looked at the 2 leadership figures who were laughing and cursing like children, and couldn't help but look at the sleeping dolly beast on top of their heads, filled with anticipation for the future. After the passionate speech at Dream Night, the new student enrollment ceremony officially began with a command. Aurora looked helplessly at the dolly beast, who had taken over a table to eat and drink. As soon as he brought it up, he woke up and threw himself onto the table, devouring it like a storm, startling the person who brought it up and causing quite a stir. He paid no attention to the dissatisfied gazes of those around him. The 2 consuls were surrounded by a group of new students asking for signatures, while the 2nd grade seniors calmly ate, drank, and chatted. They had also been so crazy when they first started school. Mengye ran over, her face flushed and she looked tired. Father, how did I do today? Very good, look at how tired the child is. Drink some water quickly. This is Mr. Jinji from Xiandao. Hello. Mengye quickly bowed. This lazy person is stealing my words. He wants to come over and grab some food today. But you were really outstanding today, even better than the originally planned second grade. Mengye smiled awkwardly and said, today's first speech, I feel a bit nervous. The precious daughter of the dean has successfully completed her first speech task. Can't everyone come and cheer up? A loud shout from the sky scared everyone, but seeing the person coming, everyone became excited again. Your voice is still so loud, Wu Xiong. They were 5 people, including the remaining 5 consuls and their partners. Wu Xiong Higashino and the Heavy Lion Beast, Yuki Nagasaki and the Rachel Beast, Yoshiyuki Kuroda and the Flower Blossom Lord Beast, Sasuke Kuroda and the Kirubi Beast, and the Red Sunset and the Ward Beast. These few people once saved the human world from the Death X Beast, and then went their separate ways. Now they are gathered together again. They fell down and consciously made way for a space in the crowd. What wind brought you guys here? It's not Jinji yet, they called us one by one. Hong Shizi glanced at Jinji, no wonder you've been using the restroom for so long. I thought you fell into the pit and were about to rescue you. Jun Feng slammed Jinji, who was eating and drinking. Cough, cough, cough. It's not just to give you a surprise. The crowd burst into laughter. You still love eating cake so much, Xiao Jin, Shizi joked, and between her eyebrows and eyes, they were still innocent young people from the past. Be careful of toothache when eating sweets, come eat meat with me. Wu Xiong handed over an elbow, and suddenly a purple ball flashed past, disappearing without a trace. What thing? Wu Xiong immediately became alert. Don't be nervous, everyone. This is my partner, Dolly Beast. It just snatched some wine from the second grade seniors. I drank too much. Aurora said, picking up Dolly Beast and preparing to leave. Kid, come here. Aurora was startled. Don't be so fierce, Wu Xiong, said Yui angrily. Ah. It's okay, kid. I have a loud voice and I'm used to it. Don't worry, bring your partner over and let's take a look. Oh. Not just a bit big. My heart is about to jump out. The Aurora was speechless. The 7 of them placed the sleeping Dolly Beast on the table to examine, each with an enigmatic expression on their faces. I've never seen it before, Shaji murmured to herself. This guy seems to have seen him somewhere before. Shizi pondered deeply. Ladies and gentlemen, it comes from an unknown domain and is the juvenile stage of the Dead X Beast. Jin Ji and Jun Feng exchanged a glance and said solemnly. What, that guy didn't die? Wu Xiong stood up in shock. Don't worry, didn't we seal it? This should be another one. The volunteer said, Kid, where did you get it from? It fell from the sky, the Aurora answered truthfully. What's it? It startled me. Yui Chang breathed a sigh of relief, but it's not yet certain whether it will evolve into that guy in the future. After all, we have all suffered from it. There is only one way at the moment. Kill it. Shizi said coldly. No way. Aurora jumped out to oppose. Yeah, after all, this is just what we discovered now. Maybe there will be new evolutionary forms in the future, Jun Feng said. Also. Then you have to keep an eye on it, said Captain Feather Support. I have arranged for my daughter to team up with him for the convenience of recording and reporting on the movements of this Dolly Beast, Jun Feng explained to everyone. Okay, Wu Xiong patted Aurora's shoulder and said seriously, Kid, don't disappoint everyone's expectations of you. Yes, we are all looking forward to your upcoming session, Jin Ji smiled. I hope you can cultivate it well. If it turns black, we will eradicate it, Shizi warned seriously. But don't worry, sister believes you can create miracles. Yui blinked like a kind-hearted big sister. Come on, young man. The future belongs to you. Satoshi clasped her fists as if to cheer. We are optimistic about you, said the ungrateful volunteer. Encouraged by the 7 great consoles, Aurora is cheering on itself. What are you waiting for, everyone? Junfeng stepped onto the stage, and the remaining 6 people understood and walked up together. All the new students. Look up to me. All eyes were focused on the center. As seniors, we finally gathered together. Let's just say a few words. Congratulations to all the children selected in the digital world. You will grow up together with your partners. During this time, you will cry, laugh, and face challenges together. Can you overcome difficulties together? Saji said emotionally. Yes. Young people need this kind of courage. I believe you will become excellent animal trainers. Before that, you had to go through 3 years of hard work and finally soar to the sky. Do you know what the responsibility of an animal trainer is? Wu Xiong said loudly. Animal trainers not only represent a glorious duty, but also a great mission. In times of global crisis, this represents human determination. In times of racial crisis, this represents eternal hope. Therefore, younger generations, show their courage, wisdom, and faith, and move forward bravely. Han Yu took the words seriously. Come on, boys, the future belongs to you. Everything from the past will eventually turn into dust, but the new light will illuminate the darkness. Move forward, for yourself, for trainers, for humanity. Jean Ji's words are full of encouragement and affirmation for the boys. I announce that the 3rd enrollment ceremony for new students has officially come to an end. Junfeng finished his speech and applauded like thunder, with a confident glow on every face. Dream Knight walked onto the stage and said, Classmates, let's cheer together. First of all, you need to evolve your childhood Digimon into a growth period within 3 days. Here, you can receive your own wristband Tyrannosaurus Rex machine. This is the beginning of the responsibilities of the animal trainer. Do you have confidence? Mom, I won't go back anymore. Students have been living in dormitories for the past few years. I will go back when I have time. Okay, I will definitely work hard. Goodbye. Aurora hung up the phone and lay in bed thinking about what happened today. She looked at the sleeping Dorian beside her and smiled, full of hope for tomorrow. In the conference room, the Royal Knights held a time meeting and asked, has there been any news from the Alpha Beast yet? The Magna Beast asked. Yeah, I don't know why that guy defected and was thrown into the human world without any news, said the Skull Beast with a headache. The Royal Knights were discussing it all, but the Jess Beast remained silent. Only he knew the truth. He struggled hard that day, regaining his self-awareness. It was he who, with his brief sobriety, defeated the Alpha Beast. Because at least he could survive. Jess Beast, go to the human world to pursue the Alpha Beast. The World Tree issued a cold order. Jessie Beast was slightly surprised and said, oh. Yes. He walked out of the conference room and insisted on surviving. On the way to the human world, Jess Beast thought, it's best not to let me find it. Chapter 3. Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mao Chio, let's quickly study how to evolve. Early in the morning, the energetic Aurora shook the Dolly Beast. For this, he was so excited that he didn't fall asleep all night yesterday. Wow. The awakened Dolly Beast didn't talk nonsense and bit him on the head. What's the rush? Let me sleep a little longer. Yesterday was registration and ceremony, I'm so tired. Okay, go to sleep, you let go first. Aurora scratched her head helplessly as she looked at the Dolly Beast, who had fallen asleep again. She looked around, forgot about it yesterday, and said that the college's treatment is really good. There are 3,000 students in single rooms, and they are equipped with good utensils and beds. The toilet, bedroom, kitchen, and everything are all ready, just like her own home. Aurora looked at her watch. There are still 2 hours left before class. Let's read a book and preview it first. Aurora arrived at the library and entered, evolved from childhood to adulthood, in the search bar. Immediately, a few books popped up with information. It's so convenient. Aurora was amazed and randomly selected 2 books to find a place to sit. Everyone was busy searching for information about evolution with their partners. After all, everyone thought becoming a trainer was cool, so the library was filled with people early in the morning, and there were even people standing or sitting on the ground, but it was quiet, with only occasional discussions, but very light. Aurora saw that Meunier was also seriously reading a book, occasionally saying a few words to the boys around him. He was a young boy with a hedgehog that day, and Aurora didn't want to disturb them, so he walked away. He found a corner and sat down to study. Firstly, to establish a deep relationship with his partner, Mao Qiu, and I should be able to do it, he murmured to himself, as if only his Digimon was sleeping in the dormitory, while the other Digimons were beside his partner. Aurora was speechless for a moment, and then shook his head. But how can we improve intimacy? He thought for a moment and walked over to find a book called Methods to Get Along with Digimons Friendly. After reading for a while, he felt that he understood it, so he borrowed the remaining few books and decided to start by improving relationships. Firstly, know what Digimon likes to eat. It should be meat. Remembering how Duo ate his beef and rice when he was just born, and yesterday he even snatched the elbow of Senior Wu Xiong, that's it. Aurora decided to go all out and came out of the butcher's shop. He looked at his empty wallet and 2 large bags of meat in his hand. Oh. It's a heartbreaking feeling. I hope it likes Aurora. When he returned to the dormitory with half an hour left until class, he said, "Don't sleep, get up and eat." He pulled the half-asleep and half-awake Dolly Beast to the table. Dolly looked at the table full of various meat and Aurora with an expectant expression on his face and shuddered for a long time before saying, "What are you smoking today?" It's okay, hurry up and eat. We'll have class later." Dolly Beast hesitated and put a piece of meat into his mouth, then started eating wildly. Aurora gnawed on the steamed bun, thinking that his monthly living expenses were not guaranteed. After the Dolly Beast finished eating, he patiently wiped its mouth and then carried it to its head, ready to go out. The more Dolly Beast thought about it, the more unusual it became. He jumped down and pointed at the Aurora. "Tell me, what are your intentions?" "Ah. I just wanted to. We're partners, so we should treat each other better." "Really? Really? Really?" Aurora's heart was furrowed by those small eyes. "You're the least likely to lie. Is it related to evolution?" Aurora nodded hesitantly, like a child who had done something wrong. Dolly Beast patted his head helplessly and said, "I'll tell you, how could a careless and slow person like you be so attentive? You can't deceive me. Tell me, who taught you?" "What I read in the book." "That's not entirely convincing. There are different ways to deal with different digital beasts, and like me, I prefer adventure. If you have time, it's disgusting. Why don't you take me on a tour?" "But. Don't say it for now, I'm late for class, run." Sure enough, the Aurora became the last one to arrive. Fortunately, the teacher didn't come, so he sat down on the chair and waited for a while before seeing almost all the boys in the class staring at him with hostility. He instinctively glanced at his desk mate. Damn it! The goddess of the whole school and the precious daughter of the dean, Fuxingmenye, stared at the book with a serious expression. It was precisely because of her favor that all the boys in the class consciously kept a distance from her until the Aurora sat beside her without looking long. Aurora blushed and stood up, but there was nowhere else to go. "Now it's neither standing nor sitting, what should we do?" The Dolly Beast on his head couldn't bear to watch any more and whispered, "Just sit down. It's not intentional anyway." "Even if it's intentional, what's wrong?" "It's because they don't sit, why bother with themselves?" But they're staring at me very uncomfortable. Dolly Beast sighed and shook his head when he saw that persuasion was unsuccessful. Munya noticed the commotion here and couldn't help but say, Aurora classmate, why don't you sit? Ah. But they keep staring at me. Munya felt a bit amused and said, pay attention to what they're doing. We're already in the same team, and our teammates have to sit together. At this moment, the teacher walked in, and everyone turned around. Aurora had to sit down. Seeing the classroom quiet down, the teacher began teaching. I believe everyone sitting here has already understood the methods of evolution, and some have even completed evolution. Don't worry if you don't have one. In this class, I'm here to teach you how to evolve. You can call me Mr. Bai. Next, Teacher Bai talked about several methods of evolution. The students took notes from time to time, but Aurora always caught some hostile gazes and said, for the next 2 days, you can play freely, but you can't leave the academy. If you have any questions, you can contact me at any time. In 2 days, your Digimon will have a duel, and after that, you can receive the Tyrannosaurus Rex machine. So these 2 days will determine your future. This class ends here. Goodbye, students. As soon as the teacher left the classroom door, Aurora immediately felt the sunlight above his head being blocked. A group of boys surrounded him, led by a boy with a hedgehog. They pulled Aurora to the door and chattered incessantly. Aurora had to cover their ears, but as they spoke, they even pulled Aurora's hand off. Are you all finished? Dolly Beast couldn't bear to watch anymore. Isn't it my partner who took the seat next to your goddess? As for not. Besides, Aurora is the last one to arrive in the classroom, and he can't stand without a seat, can he? On the other hand, you don't have the courage to sit next to Dream Knight, and... Alright, Mao Chio, stop talking, I know you're doing it for my good. And you, are you a coward? You already made sense of this matter, so you told me not to say it. Why? Tell me it yourself. She pushed the Aurora in front of the boy. Everyone, actually I didn't mean to, so just now. Alright, stop talking. Your partner is quite impressive. You can choose one of us to compete in the Digimon competition, and if you win, we won't argue with you. This is not very good, is it? I see it's you. Dolly pointed at the hedgehog, revealing its fangs. Its partner smiled and said, my hedgehog is in its growth period, you think about it. Since my partner said it, let's start. Aurora was infected by the Dolly Beast and became more confident. Okay, let's get to know each other first. Source Aurora, partner of Dolly Beast. Gang Lon, partner of the Hedgehog Beast. Both sides distanced themselves and were preparing for war. What are you doing? A light but serious voice came, and Munya walked towards them with a smile. Dream, go away, this is a battle between men. If you want to play, you can play later. It's against the rules to practice here. I don't mind taking disciplinary action against you right after school starts. Please respect my work. Cut, okay, let's withdraw. Gang Lon glared at the Aurora in disbelief and turned away. After a while, only Aurora and Dream Knight were left on the field, along with their partner. Little Dream Sister, thank you for helping me out today, otherwise I will lose face and face a lot. This is a part of my job, and you are so brave. You dare to use your childhood to compete with your growth period. It said, and as soon as my mind was hot, I agreed. Why, do you think I can't beat him? Shouted the Dolly Beast. Aurora quickly explained, after all, the level difference is so big. Dream Knight said to Dolly Beast, it's okay, Dolly Beast. If you want to compete with Hedgehog Beast, I'll arrange it the day after tomorrow. Dolly Beast snorted lightly and said. Hiss. But Xiaomeng, what's your relationship with Gang Lon? I see you're quite close, and he also. Oh, he and I grew up from a young age, but our relationship is just a friendship, at least in my heart. What's wrong? It's nothing, it's him who took the lead in asking me about things today. I just wanted to ask. Okay, there are still 2 days left, let's work hard. Munya left with the meow beast. The next day, Aurora asked Dolly Beast, let's go, Dolly Beast. Tell me, where do you want to go? How about going to the training ground to play? So fierce. Let's go. There were indeed many people on the training ground this morning. I randomly selected a room and they were teleported to the training ground. Let me see your true strength. In the training ground, a digital beast was assembled using data, and Aurora calmly analyzed, that's a beta beast, a growing amphibian, be careful of its electric shock. Have you listened to me? Hey. I saw the Dolly beast rush up and bite into the dorsal fin used for discharging, that's. Before the Aurora could finish speaking, the electric light splashed and hit the Dolly beast. It was forced to jump back, its whole body blackened with electricity, and black smoke was still emitting from its mouth. You have to follow my command, partner. Aurora said with heartache. It's rushing over. Now, metal droplets. The Dolly beast rushed out, spitting out iron particles from its mouth, causing the beta beast to retreat step by step, and then using its ears to completely scatter its data. Well done. Aurora exclaimed excitedly, and the Dolly beast wriggled restlessly, emitting white light all over its body. Is it about to evolve? Aurora became excited again, and the next second. Ah! Dolly beast spat out a string of lightning and hit the Aurora. It's much more comfortable. I just swallowed the lightning and felt uncomfortable all over, he said, you. Grandpa's. This time it's time for Aurora to emit black smoke from its mouth. It's okay, I know you can't die, said Dolly beast to himself. Alright, the next level is the maturity stage. Can you handle it? No problem. Dolly beast was full of confidence. Data restructuring, Oga beast emerges, melee maniac, don't be tough with him, Aurora reminds. Dolly beast used its flexible movements to avoid several rounds of advanced combat, while Oga beast became angry and charged towards it with a King of Fighters fist. Now, advance. The Dolly beast hit the enemy's abdomen like a purple lightning bolt and flew it away, then spat out more than 10 metal particles to defeat the enemy. Too strong, partner. Then, one person and one beast challenged for a few more mature stages, only to be completely defeated. It was already afternoon when they came out of the training ground, and after they had a full meal, Aurora felt very strange. In theory, so much energy is enough for you to evolve. I don't know either, let's talk about it tomorrow. On the third day, Aurora called Teacher Bai and explained the situation. Teacher Bai also found it strange, but gave Aurora unexpected news. Generally, powerful digital beasts evolve later, such as Akadi beasts that eventually become demon gods. But this also deepened Aurora's confusion. This guy won't really evolve into a dead X-beast, will he? He quickly shook his head, no. The deadline has come, and the Dolly beast has not evolved yet, but the Aurora can only grit its teeth and take it to the hall. Oh, this guy hasn't evolved yet. Ganglon walked over and said, my hedgehog beast is almost evolving. Aurora's mouth curved stiffly upwards and said, hee hee. This guy is quite special. Looking forward to fighting with you, don't let me down. After speaking, he ran away and on the arena, Aurora saw Munya and Junfeng waving at him. Has the meow beast also evolved? Hasn't your Dolly beast evolved yet? Not yet, but he already has the strength to mature. So strong. I can already imagine Ganglon being defeated. Aurora, I think your Dolly beast is a bit too strong. Junfeng thought of yesterday's conversation with his old friend and became worried. I think so too, but there's no need to worry. Maybe it's a good thing. We can only take a step and see. Aurora felt helpless. Father, I took him to collect the Tyrannosaurus Rex machine. Go ahead, let me know if there are any special circumstances. On the way, Aurora noticed the news. An unidentified white growth period digital beast is fleeing. Please report it immediately upon seeing it. I always feel a bit familiar with it, but I don't know where I've seen it before, said the dolly beast. Aurora thought it was unbelievable. You just hatched a few days ago. Perhaps it still retains some memories of its past life, Munya explained. But what we're saying is, why is the college so big? This was built with all the world's efforts, it's not a big deal. Oh my God, it's finally here. Hurry up and go. Aren't you going? Munya revealed her blue bracelet and said, I already have it. Ah. That's it. All right. Aurora arrived at the place where he received the bracelet, and a machine scanned the two of them. Then it flew back and recorded the information. A black and gold bracelet appeared on his hand, and a fingerprint popped up on the bracelet to confirm his identity. Aurora covered his hand and presented a manual after finishing, recording the purpose of the 7th generation of the Tyrannosaurus Rex machine. It can digitize props, making it easy to carry and use. The small box used on that night's dream came from this. When a certain amount of strength is accumulated and determination is felt, it can allow the Digimon to evolve. You can also store contacts for communication, but remember not to exceed the scope of contact, which means that unexplored places such as unknown domains will lose contact. You can also restore the healing of Digimon, and so on. Aurora roughly browsed through it and smiled. Now he is considered a qualified animal trainer. On a certain rooftop, several internet police officers and ultimate beings. The advanced robot beast and the water god beast gathered their strength to surround a white dragon digital beast, shouting, You have been surrounded by us, let's take it. But it ignored them, just stared at the boy walking downstairs and the purple fur ball. And finally found it. At this thought, it frowned and turned to look at the police officer with a suffocating yet slightly contemptuous gaze. It uttered a light word. Get out. Then several attacks hit it, and a golden light flashed through the thick smoke. When the smoke dissipated, it was nowhere to be seen, leaving only the unconscious guards. The pager on its shoulder was crushed and exhausted, retreating back to the digital machine perhaps soon. Chapter 4. Under Evolution. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 5. Past and Present Lives. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. When Aurora asked Dolly why he suddenly woke up, Dolly was considering whether or not to tell him about his strange dream that day. Alas, if you don't want to say it, don't say it, but you should know that I am your partner and will always be by your side, he said as he prepared to leave. Wait. I've decided, let me tell you more. Then I elaborated on the observations from my dream in detail. After listening, Aurora didn't say a word and fell into contemplation. Are you saying that you still have a little memory of your past life? After class, Aurora, Dream Knight, and Gang Lon surrounded the dolly beast in a corner. How did you tell others? It looked at the Aurora with a fierce expression, but was repulsed by his fearless gaze. Ah, I didn't expect the dolly beast to treat us as outsiders, sighed Minya. Yes, for me, they are all friends now. Don't worry, we are all comrades now and won't tell anyone. Looking at the sincere gaze of the three, Dolly Beast sighed helplessly and said, Okay, what do you want to know? Perhaps these guys can really help him. Dolly Beast had no choice but to think so. Since you have all dreamed about something over 100 years ago, what surprised me is that none of us humans knew about it. It indicates that the digital world has blocked this matter, but your subconscious knows about it, and it is so detailed that you have not personally experienced it, but also witnessed the whole process. Moreover, Munya analyzed, this dream is also the key factor that led you to turn the tide. You are truly the daughter of the consul. I said everything I could at once, and the other two couldn't get in touch at all, so I had to be the audience next to them. Munya seemed to notice their gaze and smiled awkwardly. You guys talk too. Did you? Dream about your ultimate body. Aurora finally continued. Dory Beast's expression twisted as he pondered for a moment. No, Aurora let out his breath and was about to sit down. But it was a black figure that struck me with a sword that woke me up. The Aurora bounced back and said, "Did you see it clearly?" Dolly shook his head and said, "No." Aurora was ready to sit down again. "However, he may be a member of the Royal Knights. Can you finish speaking in one go? Isn't that what I'm thinking?" Manya and Gang Lon looked at these two living creatures with tears and laughter in their eyes. Suddenly, Gang Lon noticed the key point. Since that digital beast can see you outside of the story, that may explain two things. Manya also realized, if this is just your dream, then maybe that digital beast has some connection with you. Gang Lon added, also, if you personally witnessed all of this, it can explain how you became a digital egg. Wait a minute, if it's the second type, isn't that the hairy ball? Aurora swallowed anxiously, it's really a dead X-beast. Hey. Why? If that's the second conclusion, over 100 years ago, it could have turned into a digital egg after being killed by the 7 great consuls, and the timing perfectly matched. The eggs of the dead X-beast have been sealed by my father and his team. The seal can be completely broken, don't you know? Gang Lon added, I prefer the first conclusion. It's better to be the first one. As the atmosphere grew heavier, Manya quickly concluded, alright, it's almost time for class. If I remember correctly, this class is about the time of ancient times. Aurora had never looked forward to class like this before, sitting upright and waiting for the teacher's arrival. Even the dolly beast twisted back into its bracelet, knowing it needed time for Aurora to think. Aurora was indeed pondering, his mind flashing with people's hopeful, worried, approving gazes and words, as well as the promises he had made. He knew very well in his heart what connection a small digital beast could have with the Royal Knight. It is more likely that a member of the Royal Knights accidentally killed it, and its powerful power changed the form of the data, and it could not withstand the powerful power, causing. He dared not think anymore, sweating profusely. No, no. He covered his face, thinking that he could face any kind of difficulty, but this incident woke him up and realized his weakness. He couldn't even protect his partner well. When it really turned into a monster, how should he face it? Manya comforted him by handing him a tissue to wipe his sweat, but the aurora seemed to be imperceptible. He immersed himself in his own world until Manya couldn't bear it anymore and poked him, cheer up. The teacher is coming soon, can't I wipe your sweat? He just lifted his face and startled Manya, saying, are you crying? He didn't even realize it and just briefly froze. He grabbed a tissue and wiped it on his face a few times, then turned his hair and froze. Although it wasn't the first time she had shed tears when she saw the aurora, Manya knew it was all for her partner. If it weren't for the dolly beast, she might have been happier. Manya thought to herself, and she understood Aurora's concerns. Her tone softened and she said, all right, didn't my dad say it all? The Death X beast is just an evolutionary path, and you will create miracles, right? Gang Lon walked over and patted the aurora, saying, this is the path you have chosen. What's the use of crying now? If you ask me to say brother, if you have time to cry, it's better to find a solution. And he and Manya exchanged a glance and said, we will be with you. Aurora lifted its head and glanced at the smiling Dream Knight and the grinning Gang Lon. With confidence, it returned to its face and said, it's great to have you all. Seeing no problem, Gang Lon went back first. June Phone walked in and Manya thought of something and said, I forgot to tell you, my father brought history. Aurora was even happier now. That's even better. Hello classmates, I believe everyone knows me. After introducing himself, today's class finally began. June Phone began to talk about the ancient digital world and the birth of the Royal Knight. Although the digital world had already blocked news during that period, humans can still speculate that at least they know that the Royal Knight was gathered at that time. At the hour of darkness, light will come. Under the prayers of the inhabitants of the digital world, the legendary Royal Knight awakens, cleaves through darkness, bringing light and hope. So who can answer, who are the members of the Royal Knights? Silently, okay, this is actually a bit difficult. Let me tell you. Remember, they are Omega Beast, Magna Beast, Red Lotus Knight Beast, Dunas Beast, Sword Emperor Beast, Shrep Beast, Ultimate V Dragon Beast, Aroma Beast, Axa Beast, Skull Beast, Stubborn Beast, and Jess Beast. All 12 Imperial Knights are the highest level guardians of the network. In the chaotic world, only they could fight against the 7 Demon Kings, but they did their best until. He paused and said, the World Tree gave them X antibodies, which revived the digital world and brought peace. But those events also left behind significant issues, such as the collapse of the digital world, the digital virus storm, the fusion of the 2 worlds, and. He glanced at Aurora and said, the initiator of all the sequelae caused by the interplay of light and darkness. The Death X. Beast. Alright, that's all for this lesson. Do you have any other questions, classmates? Aurora felt something was wrong from the perspective of the Royal Knight and said, Teacher, isn't there another Royal Knight? It's called what? It was called Wanted a few days ago, right, Alpha Beast? But everyone looked at themselves with strange eyes and said, what? What's going on? Aurora student, where did you hear about the Alpha Beast? On the news a few days ago, it was said that he had defected. The World Tree Lord also spread the word. Are you mistaken? Just sit down first. There's no such thing as a digital beast, let alone a Royal Knight. Ah. Aurora sat down in confusion. I remember. You remember wrong, Munya smiled and said, I haven't heard of an Alpha Beast either. Did I really forget? What was the one I wanted a few days ago? A few days ago, I only wanted that white digital beast. Seeing Munya say so, Aurora scratched her head and stopped making a sound. After school, Junfeng walked over and patted Aurora's shoulder, saying, Kid, I've been through quite a bit lately. I think it was a mistaken memory that you had just developed due to being too tired. Take a good rest. Thank you, Dean. Aurora looked at the time and realized that today was a golden day. For some reason, she suddenly wanted to go home. He called out the Dolly Beast and said, let's go home today and have some good food. As soon as they heard the Dorian Beast, their eyes lit up and they said, let's go, let's go. They went back to the dormitory, packed their things, and were about to leave the college gate. What are you two going to do? Meng Yi and Gang Lan waved at them as they followed the sound. It's been a few days since you went back. It's been so homesick. Let's do it together. Ah. They walked over and Meng Yi explained, didn't my father still assign me a task? Gang Lan replied, yes, it's all in one team. Aurora was a bit confused. You too? Yes, I just told the dean. I really have you. Aurora slapped Ganglan and unconsciously saw that they had truly become good friends. The 3 of them opened the door together, but Aurora's parents didn't come back. You guys sit down first, I'll go pour water. The house is a bit messy, don't mind, they said looking at the Dolly Beast on the Aurora's head. Munya suddenly smiled and said, when I first came, the Dolly Beast was still running around everywhere. When recruiting students? Gang Lan asked. Yes, Aurora handed over the water, you're still biting me. Then tell me more about it. What's there to talk about? Dolly Beast saw the black material exposed and quickly jumped out with a red face to stop it. Suddenly, he felt his body hanging in the air. It turned out that Hedgehog Beast and Puppy Beast had carried it out to play. Dolly Beast was helpless and shouted, don't say it, I'll come back and ask them. If you say it, I'll kill you. The voice gradually faded away, and the 3 of them had already laughed back and forth. Let Miss Xiaoming continue with your story. It's rare to have guests, so I'll show you something. Aurora entered the kitchen. Half an hour later, my parents came back and smelled the fragrance. Before they could stop, the Aurora rushed over and hugged them. "Dad, Mom, I miss you all so much." They exchanged a few pleasantries and saw the two people at the dinner table in an awkward state. "Are they?" "Oh, they are all my teammates, and due to my partner's special circumstances, we need to be constantly vigilant, so." "Hello Uncle and Auntie. The girl's name is Fusheng, and she is the daughter of the consul Mr. Fusheng Junfeng. The boy is Gang Lan, and we can be considered good friends who don't fight or know each other. Mom and Dad, hurry up and try my craft. Let's take a break. By the way, where's your partner?" Before he could finish speaking, the door was knocked open and a purple figure rushed straight towards the dining table. Fortunately, Aurora and Gang Lan teamed up to hold it down. "Mao Chio, my parents are here today, give me some face." Dolly Beast finally calmed down, his eyes fixed on the dining table. "Xiaoguang, your partner. It's really quite unique. What's its name?" "If it comes from an unknown domain, just call it Mauchio," Aurora said while playing for it. A voice came from behind him. "Hello Uncle and Auntie. It's a hedgehog and a puppy." "Hello. This is our partner. How cute." "Huh, I'm sorry about that." The atmosphere of the entire dinner party was very harmonious. After finishing the meal, Dream Knight's bracelet rang. "Hey, father." Juanfeng's voice came from the bracelet. "Where are you?" "At Aurora's home. I am with Gang Lan, Aurora, and Aurora's parents." "Why did you run into someone else's house?" "It's not you who made me." "Oh, yes, then pay attention. Let me say a few words. Hello, Your Excellency the Consul," Aurora's father took over. "Are you?" "I am Yuan Xuanze, the father of Yuan Aurora and the director of the Digital Research Institute. Your daughter is with us, please rest assured." "Then I must take it easy. It's troublesome." "Okay, thank you for your trust." After hanging up the phone, he ordered, "Xiaoguang, you can just make do with sleeping in the living room and let Mengye and Gang Lan sleep in your room. I'll just sleep on the sofa. I can't compete with girls for a house, can I?" "So you." "Okay. Where's Xiaoguang?" "He cleaned up the room." "That's it then. While Xiaoguang is not around, I'll tell you something." "You said." "No matter what the reason is, I am very grateful that you can become friends with Xiaoguang. Don't look at that child who is usually heartless, in fact, his heart is very fragile and he yearns for friendship. He doesn't have many friends. No wonder we came to his house, he felt very excited." "Yeah, I see." Gang Lan and Meng Yi suddenly realized. "Thank you all. Auntie and uncle both hope he can be happy. Don't be like this, we also know the uniqueness of Aurora classmates. We will work harder and progress together in the future." Aurora leaned against the door and heard it clearly. He desperately covered his mouth, not letting himself cry. Dolly Beast handed a paper to the side and said, "It's okay, you'll have a few of us in the future." Aurora leaned out and said, "Pack up. Little dream, I promise you'll live comfortably." He grinned happily. Looking back, Mao Chio, no matter what you are or what you have experienced in your previous life, in this life, live happily and well with me. Chapter 6. Our Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Early in the morning, Aurora and others were all awakened. Aurora's father excitedly told the three of them that today, Fusheng Junfeng taught them to complete further evolution. After breakfast, as soon as they went downstairs, they met Junfeng and Gao Beast who were waiting early. He led everyone to drive to the central training ground. "Where are our opponents?" Aurora asked in confusion. "Go ahead, Gaoga." "What?" The three of them were surprised. "Father, are you not joking? I'm sure I won't let you face the ultimate form of Gaoga, go ahead." Gauga walked to the center of the field and made a gesture of letting go to the three of them. This game does not require you to knock it down, mainly to test your true level. So it's like this: go up, Hedgehog Beast, Sword Mountain Rush. Puppy Beast, Holy Shock. Let's come to, Dolly Beast, Evolve. The Tyrannosaurus Rex machine emitted a red light enveloping Dolly Beast, Evolution. The red light gathers in front of the forehead and turns into a red crystal, Multi-Beast. Multi-Way Beast, Rush into Metal. Three digital beasts rushed towards the Gao Beast together. Just as it was about to hit the Gao Beast, it suddenly leapt into the air, and three data attacks counterbalanced each other. It took the opportunity to step on the back of the Duo Beast, and the Hedgehog Beast rushed over. It jumped up and let the Hedgehog Beast pounce on the Duo Beast, causing the Duo Beast to grin. The Puppy Beast wanted to come over and help, but also got involved. Gao Ao Beast returned to Juanfeng's side. In this round of attack, Gao Ao Beast did not harm him. His side was in chaos first, and Junfeng gestured for the three of them to open up their partners. This is the first point I want to teach you. You are a team and need unity and cooperation, otherwise you will only create internal conflicts and let the enemy win without fighting. You can first make a plan. The three of them gathered together for a while to discuss, and finally confidently declared war on the Geru Beast. The Gao Beast walked back to the field. Three people and three beasts exchanged a glance, and Gang Lon preemptively said, Hedgehog Beast, Sword Mountain Rush. The hedgehog curled up into a spiky ball and rushed forward. It was cleverly dodged by the Geru Beast, and taking advantage of its inconvenient movement in the air, Mengye ordered, Puppy Beast, here's a chance. Puppy roar. The data energy was transformed into sound waves and attacked the Gao Beast. Not bad. I wanted to trap Gao Beast through cooperation, but you still underestimated it. I saw the Gao Beast spinning at high speed and opening up the energy waves on its way down. Aurora classmates. Multi-Way Beast, complete charging, giant metal ball. Just below the Geru Beast, Multi-Way Beast sprays a huge metal ball and hits it, pressing it down to the ground. Hit. Don't be too happy too early. The Geru Beast hit the metal ball with a punch. Temporary strategy. When both of them were frowning and locked, Aurora directly let the Multi-Way Beast charge forward, shattering the metal ball and heading straight towards the Gao Beast, knocking it off. What are you two waiting for? The two of them exclaimed in surprise, Puppy Beast, Holy Shockwave. Hedgehog Beast, Needle Tornado. The shockwave mixed with sharp spikes hit the Gao Beast in the sky, causing it to be severely injured and fall to the ground. Yeah. Aurora and Gang Lon applauded and congratulated. Mengye was laughing on the side, also very happy. Not bad, not bad. Junfeng clapped, his eyes filled with admiration for the three of them. Especially for the Aurora. We are proud of you, children, who understood my intention in just a few seconds and cooperated exceptionally well. He looked at the three of them one by one, and finally his eyes stayed on Aurora. Especially you, Aurora, you are the most outstanding among the three today. That tactic was just a last-minute idea from you, right? Noticing the encouraging gaze from his partner, Aurora mustered up courage and said, yes. In the real battlefield, one must have this kind of adaptability. You surprised me today. Continuing to look at Mengye, he said, Xiaomeng, you have outstanding leadership skills. You have already demonstrated them today, including during the opening ceremony. Today's tactics are yours, right? Yes. However, you need to consider the variables that may arise at any time. Not all solutions are guaranteed to succeed, are you clear? I understand. But you are already a qualified leader, keep going. Next, let's talk about you, Gang Lon. Your ability to take action is the strongest among the three of you, but you lack consideration in your actions. In your future actions, you need to think more. His words made Ganglan's mind skip a beat. I just said, why do I keep causing trouble? I see. Thank you for your guidance, Dean. Remember not to be impatient when doing things. Aurora, your problem is the biggest among the three of you, and you are the most special existence among them. I can say without exaggeration that your Digimon is also the strongest and most difficult to control among the three beasts. So, you need to become better. Aurora became serious and quietly listened to Juanfeng's teachings. First of all, you are easily impulsive. That day, the Dolly beast was attacked and couldn't hold you back. I can understand your feelings, but at this time, you should calmly consider. If something really happened to the Dolly beast that day, I feel like you will go crazy. Aurora nodded and said, secondly, I can see that you respect your partner very much, but the downside is that your heart is too soft to talk about it. You should communicate with it, as it is still small. If it continues like this, it will become increasingly stubborn and may eventually go astray. You can discuss it first, and I will go drink some water. Miss Xiaomeng, the dean values me so much, would you be jealous? Yes, Meng, I just saw that your face was not right. Mengye calmed her mood for a moment and said, it's impossible to say you're not jealous, but I must admit that you're the most important person for our team right now. She smiled at the Aurora and said, being jealous can actually make the team more fragmented, so it's better to work together and improve together. She has really grown up. Yes, Gaga, it's okay, classmates. Gaga listened to the animal with relief. He startled the three of them and said, Father, what's wrong with you? Junfeng doted and patted Mengye's head. Now that we get to the point, you need to listen to your partner's inner thoughts in order to make future cooperation better and also give them new strength. Dean, are you saying? That's right, the main topic today is evolution. Everyone quieted down. Come on, you and the Digimon have their foreheads pressed against their foreheads, feel their hearts, and reach a bond. The three of them obediently lifted the little dog beast up in dream night, only feeling a warm current flowing into her heart. This made her frown and suddenly lift her head. Shoo, I know you can't bear it, but you have to endure it. Junfeng whispered softly in her ear, and she had to continue until the size bracelet emitted a faint white light. Ganglan felt the hot heart of the hedgehog beast, and he enjoyed it very much. Immediately, the bracelet also emitted an orange light. Seeing that both of them were about to succeed, Junfeng looked towards the Aurora and saw him and Duo beast furrowing their brows, sweating profusely, as if they were having a nightmare one by one, with no reaction from the wristband. Indeed, the Aurora only felt the agony of a fire, and he only felt the madness in the heart of the beast. But his intuition told him not to give up, and he also saw what the beast had dreamed of that day. He finally found the beast and saw a black shadow strike with a sword. He couldn't think much and stood in front of it. Ah! In reality, he burst out with a roar, and the bracelet finally emitted a little red light, which then went out again. Puppy beast, evolve. Hedgehog beast, evolve. Under the shining white and orange light, the puppy beast and hedgehog beast successfully evolved into the mature Dilu beast and Phil beast. Beautiful. Now there's only the Aurora left. The three of them looked at the Aurora with concern, and he broke into a cold sweat, gritting his teeth. Mengye couldn't help but worry and said, Aurora classmate. Is it really okay? Now I can only trust him. Aurora and the beast are still immersed in their dreams. He just received a sword, and after the excruciating pain, he found that they are in a cyberspace, with nothing else besides him and the beast. Hey, wake up, Mao Chio. Am I dead? What nonsense. This should be your spiritual world, we are evolving. Well. The multiple beasts were still in a daze. Hey, take it seriously. Outside, the three of them were anxiously waiting. Suddenly, the digital beasts seemed to feel something, looking up at the sky with a solemn expression, as if facing a formidable enemy. Sure enough, the world was torn apart from above, and a huge black figure was watching inside. Then it jumped down, and it turned out to be a little dragon, or a growing one. But the terrifying aura emanating from the body doesn't seem to be what one should have in their growth period, it's overwhelming and suffocating. Geru Beast, Super Evolution. A blue light surrounds Geru Beast, and Sonic Geru Beast appears. It nervously gazed at the Digimon, but the other person's attention was clearly not on it. Instead, it looked seriously at the Aurora and the multi-way beast. At the same time, Aurora also felt the changes outside, and the color of the data space gradually turned white. The multiple beasts woke up, and in the blink of an eye, they returned to the real world. For a moment, red light enveloped them, and the multiple beasts inexplicably evolved into multiple beasts. The digital beast also noticed and rushed forward. The sonic beast wanted to stop it, but it kicked it in the face and flew away. How could that be? Dilu Beast, God. Don't move. Its power is not something you can resist. As the digital beast rushed in front of us, Duo Jia Beast flew up to the sky with Aurora, creating a deep pit on the ground. Sonic Jia Ao Beast, Ultimate Evolution. The white digital beast leapt up, with the phantom Jia Ao Beast blocking in front of it and fanning it away with a claw. However, the white lightning flashed at an elusive speed to the naked eye and collided with the phantom Jia Ao Beast. The phantom Jia Ao Beast was shocked by its power. It launched an attack again, spinning its tail like a drill bit and charging straight at the phantom Jia Ao Beast. Unexpectedly, the phantom Jia Ao Beast was hit by a growth period and had no fighting power. Duo Jia Beast remembering. This is the Digimon that attacked me that day. It's also too powerful, isn't it? On the battlefield, the mysterious Digimon was about to repair its sword when it was fanned away by a giant hand. It was then bombarded with a barrage of fire, saying, "What a mess. It's been a growth period attack." The other 6 consoles descended from the sky, reinstalling the Lion Beast and lifting the Phantom Garuga Beast. Seriously, this guy is not easy. The Saint Shield Dragon's cannon aimed at the center of the thick smoke. The Vault Beast healed the Phantom Gauga Beast, while the Rachel Beast observed from the sky. The Flower Blossoming Lord Beast and the Killaby Beast protected everyone. How did you come? That, it was me who called it. I think my father can't fight it, so. Yeah, we heard you were in danger and ran over without saying a word. It's embarrassing to lose a lot of money now. What's going on? Why is Gauga injured so badly? Let's talk about it later, this Digimon is too strong. The thick smoke dissipated, and the Digimon was fine, charging straight towards them. How could it be so fast? It swam between the 7 ultimate bodies, and the walled beast unexpectedly released its holy light cage, locking it in. Well done. Humph, do you think you can lock me up like this? The Digimon spoke up, instantly releasing a sense of oppression that made everyone take a step back. When the Lion Beast was reassembled, it was picked up and looked at in front of its eyes. It directly sprayed flames and hit the Lion Beast, then kicked into the air and floated up, moving its muscles and bones, emitting a dazzling white light as if it was about to burn everything. The light dissipated, and a Dragon Man Digimon walked straight over. What kind of Digimon is this? Reinstall the Lion Beast, Sonic Digger. Xiongwu, don't mess around. But the Lion Beast's drill bit was already within reach and shattered when it hit the Digimon. It snorted coldly and knocked down the Lion Beast with one leg. Killaby Beast, Heavenly Judgment. Thunder fell and hit it, but in the blink of an eye, it had already flown into the sky and pressed the Killaby Beast down. I dare not neglect it. Shizi, you and the walled beast are going to heal your companions. Everyone else, go up together. The Phantom Gaga Beast, the Holy Shield Dragon Beast, the Flower Blossom Lord Beast, and the Rachel Beast all released their arcane skills. Did it work? The thick smoke dissipated, and the sound of meteor flame brought everyone's mood back to its lowest point. Mars is shooting everywhere, and before everyone can react, all the Digimon of the 7 consoles have degenerated into a Tyrannosaurus Rex machine in their childhood. Is that right? The digital beast looked down contemptuously at everyone. How could this guy be stronger than a dead ex-beast? If I say, this is just my complete body posture, do you believe it? How could it be? Ha ha ha. Humans are too arrogant. Do you think the dead ex-beast is the strongest opponent? The crowd was speechless as it approached the Duo Jia beast, with the Aurora blocking in front of it. Aurora classmate, come back quickly, it's too dangerous. Aurora, what are you doing? The Aurora was frightened, but its body was still uncontrollably blocking in front. This makes the Digimon unable to figure it out. Aren't you afraid of me? It bent down and blew the Aurora back and forth with a single breath. Afraid, didn't you see that I was so scared that I was almost crying? Then why don't you quickly step aside? I am responsible to my partner. Ha ha ha. It seemed to have heard some joke and raised its head to laugh. Partner. Ha ha ha. What are you laughing at? Human beings are indeed foolish and ignorant, it pointed to the Doraemon. That guy doesn't even need a partner like this boring thing. When you know its true face, you can't even cry. Isn't it just a dead ex-beast? I was mentally prepared long ago. What? That kind of garbage is not worth it. No matter what it is, I will face it together. We are partners. Come on, partners are the most childish thing. Aurora. Ganglon exclaimed in surprise. Bang. Aurora couldn't bear it anymore and punched it in the face. Although the damage was not significant, it still stunned it. It stood up incredulously and scanned the crowd one by one. Anyway, you guys should take it easy. It turned around and looked back at Aurora and Duo Jia beast. As it entered the crack, it suddenly said, when it's all over, tell me the meaning of being a partner. If you're still alive. What does this mean? Chapter 7. Digital World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is unbelievable. After the disappearance of the terrifying Digimon, Hong Shizi exclaimed in shock, it can even crush our ultimate body with just the whole thing. According to its statement, the power hidden in the digital world is unimaginable and unmatched. Junfeng worried. So what are you going to do next? Jin Ji asked, and after discussing for a while, Junfeng looked at the children with concern. You guys go back first, Xiaomeng, come over for a while. In a secluded corner, Junfeng said, I'm afraid you'll have to stay at Aurora's house for a few days now. Hey. Why? We have decided that since that strange digital beast mentioned that there is still a stronger existence in the digital world, where is the root of everything. So what we need to do next is to go to the digital world to find the source of everything. But the digital world is too dangerous. The 7 of us are together, there's no problem. Well. Okay. The 2 of them told everyone about this matter, and before Aurora could react, they heard the next shocking news. There is still 1 day left to return to school, and we will take you to the first-level digital domain to take a look. The teacher once said that the so-called domain refers to the world of Digimon, which is divided into 9 levels. From level 1, Digimon appears, and the difficulty gradually increases until level 8. As for level 9, it is the core of the entire digital world and the location of the world tree. It is said that only digital beasts at the Royal Knight level can operate there, and even the 7 great princes do not have the qualification to visit. There is also the 0 level. Unknown domain, as the name suggests, everything is unknown. The Aurora trio returned home first, and the 7 consuls will come to pick them up the next day after handling the remaining affairs, which also allows them to have a simple half-time break. Ganglon, your parents don't have any worries. Mengye smiled and said, hee, this kid has been an orphan since childhood, and it was my father who has been taking care of him. Is this something that can be said? Is there any problem? I accepted it long ago. So, Meng Meng and I are childhood sweethearts. Get out of here. Meunier blushed. After resting for a while, Meunier remembered something and pointed to the dolly beast, asking, Aurora, did the dolly beast evolve every time it saw that white Digimon? Yeah, I don't know why. Every time I see it, the fur ball evolves. Speaking of which, what exactly is that guy from? It's just one ultimate digital beast that can knock down all 7 consoles in one go. It's too exaggerated. My pickaxe sauce. I washed it. But it won't come to the 4th prize. Could you please swallow what's in your mouth before speaking? I can't hear you clearly. The dory beast tried hard to swallow, but unfortunately ate too much. One anxious person turned into a machine gun, and as a result, the Aurora successfully blocked all of its companions. Ah! The heavenly sound echoed through the sky. The Aurora looked towards the bathroom, but this incident completely relaxed the 2 of them who were in a tense mental state. When the Aurora returned, Ganglon immediately said solemnly, I announced that congratulations to the Aurora for winning the best meat shield of the all. I would rather not have this honor. Ha ha ha. I seem to have seen it before, but I just can't remember it, said the dolly beast, finally recovering. Aren't you just letting it dry up? No, it's in my memory. Let's talk about it. Everyone stared eagerly at the pondering dolly beast, and after a while, its face turned red from thought, with a wisp of smoke rising from its head. We can't do it anymore. It's done. The CPU in my child's brain is smoking. Dolly beast, are you okay? Stop it now. Finally. Hiccup. With a sound of damn it, a thunder shot out from the mouth of the dolly beast, but the Aurora still couldn't dodge and was accurately hit. There's an excess of evolutionary energy, there's no time to release it, I can't hold it anymore. Puppy beast, heal quickly. I can't stand it anymore. The next day, when Junfeng came to pick them up, all the 7 consoles arrived and said, Father, how did you handle yesterday's matter? We can only block the message first, and then make a decision after all the answers are revealed. After everything is ready, Junfeng adjusted the bracelet and aimed it at the sky. Watch it, you will use it frequently in the future. I saw the wristband projected into the sky and a green temporal and spatial crack appeared, this is a manifestation of a secure domain. So, isn't it safe? Stable but with a small amount of danger is orange, unstable is purple, unstable is with a large amount of danger is red, unknown is black, Junfeng replied. Oh. I'm a bit dizzy, Aurora said. I'll remember it later. Okay. Everyone travels through the wormhole, surrounded by dazzling green light. From the wormhole, one can clearly see the outside world, all of which are incredibly novel things for children. After more than 10 minutes of leaping, they landed safely in the digital world. Your body has been digitized by the gap between 2 worlds, but the danger still exists, so be careful of your safety. The 3 of them looked around, and the digital world looked similar to the human world, with green mountains and rivers, cities, and so on. But the ubiquitous data particles still constantly remind them that this is another world. Let's go to the origin village first. Origin village. Is it so particular here? Yes, similarly, there are laws here. That is the birthplace of most digital beasts in the digital world, so there will be many digital eggs. Oh. As he spoke, the village of origin was already in front of him. Junfeng, here you are. An elderly-looking digital beast came out to welcome him. This is the mother.in.law beast, the village head of the origin village. Aurora lifted the digital wristband and scanned, mother.in.law beast, ultimate body, vaccine-bred digital beast. What? She's the ultimate body. I was also shocked, Dolly Beast yawned. It seems like she's not as tall as me. It's impolite, Mother.in.law Beast. Don't worry, this child has this personality and is carefree. June Fong quickly made up for it. It's okay, I'm used to it. The Mother.in.law quickly waved her hand. At this moment, a humanoid digital beast emerged from the village and said, Village Chief, the fight has been resolved. Who are these? The Beast of Judgment, these people are from the human world, my old friend. Hearing the word human, the Beast of Judgment clearly felt a bit unhappy, but didn't say much either. This is the Judgment Beast, a very kind and good child who is said to have been to dangerous areas and often comes to help our village. Ruling beasts, ultimate beings, and vaccine-type digital beasts have a strong sense of justice and often help the weak, making them objects of worship for young digital beasts. Wow! Heroes! Ha ha ha! Then the ruling beasts, take them on a tour of the village. Okay. Along the way, the Beast of Judgment remained cold and didn't say a word, creating an awkward atmosphere. Aurora brought the Beast of Dolly forward and said, Brother of Judgment, my name is Yuan Aurora, and it is my partner. Dolly Beast. Please give me more guidance in the future. The Judgment Beast snorted coldly, and Dolly Beast jumped onto the Judgment Beast's shoulder, was pulled off and thrown towards the Aurora. Kid, take care of your Digimon. The Aurora retreated to the crowd and muttered, Why is the ruling beast so indifferent to us? Ah! A startled cry came from Manya ahead. This is the digital egg incubator, said the sanctioned beast coldly. Dream Knight ran in and hugged a baby Digimon. This is too cute, isn't it? Xiao Meng, I'm also very cute. The little dog beast loudly objected. Not only her, but also the female members of the team ran over. Girls have no resistance to this fluffy and cute thing, the remaining few looked at each other with a bitter smile. The nearby keeper, Yutu Beast, walked over and was responsible for raising and protecting the digital eggs and juvenile digital beasts. After a few words with the ruling beast, it hurriedly left. After everyone finished browsing, enthusiastic Digimon kept them for dinner. Aurora took advantage of the absence of Digimon and asked, Why is Digimon so hostile towards us? Watching everyone's puzzled expressions, the giant flower beast beside hesitated for a while before finally making up its mind to answer, he is usually very proud, and I only found out after asking the village chief. When he was still in his mature stage, humans invaded the digital world. Have humans ever invaded the digital world? Well, it was during the War of the Worlds period, but it was eventually pacified by former consuls and royal knights and did not cause much unrest. But it has also brought huge disasters to our world. The village chief of the origin village is not the Mother.in.law Beast village chief, but the Bolt Beast. Humans have made weapons specifically designed to suppress the power of digital beasts, and have also controlled a large number of digital beasts, so we have no room to fight back. Judge Beast, you've worked hard, come and eat some. No, the ruling beast returned and the giant flower beast wisely closed its mouth. So what about those bad guys who hunted Digimon in the end? Being killed by the uncontrollable Digimon is a deserved crime. We have banned those illegal technologies. The crowd fell silent, and their heavy emotions remained unresolved for a long time after finishing their meal. Suddenly, a riot broke out in the forest, and the digital beasts scattered and fled. What's wrong? A large digital beast with red eyes rushed out and indiscriminately bombed. The king's dragon beast is a fully bodied, vaccinated dinosaur-type digital beast. The dragon beast has won the fierce battle and evolved into a dinosaur-type digital beast. Its ultimate skill is to spit out high-heat flames from its mouth to burn down the enemy's master flame. What's wrong with it? The crazed king dragon beast charged towards a few people. Isn't it that this layer of domain is absolutely safe? Let me do it. Young Master Beast, evolve. Young Master Beast evolution. Leia Beast, Leia Beast Super Evolution. Load Lion Beast. Load the Lion Beast, Drilling Storm. Load the Lion Beast and defeat the King Dragon Beast. The King Dragon Beast spits out multiple fireballs and flies around, almost harming the nearby Digimon. The other few people were about to take action when suddenly they heard a justice kick and a lightning-fast approaching creature, the Beast of Judgment. He kicked away the Lion Beast and, before everyone could react, punched the King Dragon Beast into digital particles. "Hey, why did you kill it?" Xiongwu couldn't bear it anymore and rushed up to question the ruling beast. "What do you know?" "It's hopeless," said the beast coldly. "What exactly happened? Isn't this a safe area?" After saying, "This used to be a safe area for our world," the Beast of Judgment squeezed open the crowd and disappeared into the darkness without looking back. "It's already late, what should we do, father?" Mengye turned around, and Junfeng seemed to have not heard him, constantly bowing his head in contemplation. "Father." Seeing Junfeng not responding, Mengye wanted to touch him, but was caught by the aurora. "Please observe carefully." The 7 great consuls were all pale with a cold sweat, and Junfeng murmured to himself, "Impossible, impossible." "Junfeng, if that's really the case, it means..." "Yes, the problem hasn't been completely solved yet." "What are they talking about?" Mengye was also lost in thought for a long time. "Is it?" "Father, is the mutation in the digital world a legacy problem from back then?" "Xiaomeng, you guys go back first and wait until we figure it out." The Aurora trio returned to the human world, and both Aurora and Gang Lon had the same question. "Little Dream Sister, what are you talking about?" The props left by the group hunting Digimon in the digital world have not been completely cleared, and if the Digimon is not controlled by anyone after ingestion, it will lose control. "No wonder, what should we do then?" "I can only solve it after my father and his team have finished handling it." Dawn is approaching, and as the sun slowly rises, the ruling beast, who has dealt with a raging digital beast, gallops with a serious expression on its face. Sleepless all night, watching the slowly rising sun, the 7 great consuls held the same thoughts but didn't know how to speak. "It's starting again, isn't it?" After a long sigh, the figure in the red cloak also looked towards the rising red sun in the sky, as if they all regarded him as their last hope to cleanse their hearts of sin and welcome redemption. But after a burst of light shone, the figure also disappeared without a trace. Hee hee. What would happen if it were you? Chapter 8. On Crisis. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What is this? The World Tree Lord, the Dunas Beast, shook the small box in its hand. For the Royal Knight, it was a small box, but for humans, it was twice its size. A few days ago, the World Tree ordered the Royal Knight to throw this thing into the first and second layers of the network, but the Royal Knights often moved in the upper layers of the network and did not know what it was. The little things left by humans before can help lower-level digital beasts evolve and prepare for future plans. What are you asking so many questions about? Just follow the instructions of the World Tree Lord. The Sword Emperor Beast touched the Dunas Beast. Skull Beast, you give this thing to the village chief of Origin Village, she knows who to give it to. This is X Antibody. World Tree Lord, who are you giving such a powerful force to? If a Digimon can't withstand the power and goes berserk, we can't let you go, can we? Obey me. Junfeng and his team have been tracking the Judgment Beast for the past few days, trying to capture any information from him. If that's the case, the consequences will be unimaginable. I said, what do you guys really want? The ruling beast pointed its weapon at a clump of grass, but no one responded. He sighed and said, I know you've been following me all along. As soon as the words fell, a black figure emerged from the grass. How could it be? Isn't the Holy Shield Dragon Beast blocking our breath? You're still confident, Xiongwu. The remaining 6 people crawled out. I have been active in multi-layered domains before. Do you think this little trick can deceive me? Sorry, we also want to do something for the digital world. Stop farting. The crisis in our world is not caused by humans alone. What could be a misunderstanding? We are the highest rulers of the human world, how could we not know such a big thing happened? Those numbers were the ones that led to frenzy due to accidental ingestion, which were what you humans used back then. But we don't know. So we want to follow you and maybe find a solution. I said I didn't need you to follow, but I still don't think the chaos is big enough, right? Now, immediately, get out of here. Xiongwu and the ruling beast confronted each other. The atmosphere was extremely awkward. Suddenly, a crack appeared in the sky. Quickly dodge. Whoa. Duo Jia beast, catch us quickly. Duo Jia beast jumped down from the middle, its huge body steadily catching the three people, and slowly descending from the upper air. I'm sorry, father. It's my first time using jump and I'm not sure about it. Brother Adjudication is also here. But what are you doing? The Adjudication beast hummed and quickly walked away. It's only been a day now, why don't you have to attend classes? Hey. It's been 2 weeks since the human world came back, and it's been over 10 days. I'm really worried. How could it be? Isn't the time in the digital world already synchronized with the human world? Junfeng looked at his companions, their faces full of confusion. I can only take one step at a time to see. On the other hand, the ruling beast returned to the village, and the mother.in.law beast hurriedly ran over and handed him a seal with an X symbol. The World Tree Lord has noticed the situation and asked me to give this X antibody to the digital beast that can take on the responsibility of protection. The first thing that came to my mind was you. Me. Is that okay? Give it a try. Alright. After slowly absorbing the X antibody into the body, the Beast of Judgment suddenly roared, Beast of Judgment, X evolves. The red light instantly enveloped the Beast of Judgment, and his time digital alloy was dyed red, making him stronger and more powerful overall. So you can better protect the digital world, selected warrior. The ruling Beast X was stunned for a moment, and all the digital beasts around him knelt down in fear. Looking up, a tall figure descended from the sky, with his chest held high and his head held high. He was dressed in pitch black Shurji digital alloy, with a majestic expression and a powerful aura emanating from his body. Skull. Skull Beast Lord. The digital beast in front of me is the Skull Beast among the 12 royal knights. The Beast of Judgment quickly knelt down on one knee and said, the Beast of Judgment will never fail its mission. The Skull Beast nodded, ready to turn and leave. Suddenly, Junfeng disregarded the obstruction of others and rushed out of the grass. They had just noticed a huge energy fluctuation in the direction of the origin village and thought something was wrong, so they hurriedly rushed over. It's you again. Judgment Beast X blocked in front. Now is the supreme moment, don't come and cause trouble. It's a human. The Skull Beast walked over and said, Judge Beast, please step back and let me come. Yes. You, World Tree, what exactly do the Royal Knights want? Junfeng looked grim. The Skull Beast looked down and said, I don't know what you're talking about. Calm down, Junfeng, reminded the Phantom Gaiga Beast. Junfeng was stunned for a moment, then took a deep breath and said, are you guys secretly causing trouble? What? Don't you understand? Has the World Tree ever made you put anything in this layer of domain? This is not what you should manage. You. Calm down, shout. I just suspect that the digital domain mutation is related to you. You said that, I do remember, the Skull Beast pondered for a moment. The World Tree Lord did ask us to deploy something, but it was used to strengthen the Digimon. What does it look like? I don't know, it was my colleague who did it. Why are you so familiar with this little thing? The Skull Beast mentioned Duo Jia Beast, who was watching the play on the side. Where have you seen it before? Skull Beast, what are you doing? Magna Beast, why did you come? Magna Beast Lord. Lord World Tree, seeing that you haven't returned for a long time, sent me to call you. Oh. The Skull Beast threw down multiple additional beasts. Magna Beast. June Fang's roar came. Human. Magna turned his head and looked contemptuous. Is it the materials you put in? This is not something you should care about, human. After speaking, he flew into the sky and said, mind less about the digital world. June Fang was so angry that he trembled all over. The ruling beast patted him, and this was the first time he had taken the initiative to talk to a human. Does what you're talking about look like this? He opened his palm and a black metal object appeared in it. 7 people gathered around, thundering like thunder. This is. From back then, Mengyi said in terror. What? The ruling beast didn't know what to say for a moment. Suddenly, the ruling beast let out a painful moan, its eyes turning white bit by bit, and its body twitching in pain. What's wrong with you? Dream Knight wanted to pass, but was pulled away by Duo Jia Beast. Don't go there. He is controlled by the World Tree. How do you know? I don't know either, but there seems to be a slight impression in my memory. The Judgment Beast rushed over and punched Duo Jia Beast. Chapter 9. Under Crisis. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Judgment Beast X swung its iron arm fiercely, throwing Duo Jia Beast several tens of meters away. Mao Qiu. Seeing his partner injured and spitting blood, Aurora rushed over regardless of everything. However, the attack just now knocked Duo Jia Beast unconscious, and there was no response. The Aurora bravely blocked in front of it. Shovel. Remove. Judgment Beast X converged 3 types of arms together, and lightning flashed. It even unleashed its proud skill of Trinity armed towards 1 person and 1 beast without attacking power. Aurora, quickly dodge. Gang Lan shouted, but it was already too late. Just as the beam of terrifying lightning was about to hit the Aurora, a figure flashed in an instant, carrying the Aurora and multiple beasts to a safe place, but was also hit. Phantom Gaga Beast. The Aurora looked at the Phantom Gaga Beast, whose armor was chopped and smoking, panting heavily. I'm fine, hurry up and take a look at your partner. As Junfeng Fei saw the Judgment Beast unleash his killing move again, he jumped over and said, I was negligent, Gaoga, extreme evolution. The Phantom Gaoga Beast emitted a towering blue light all over its body. After the dazzling light, it swung a hammer towards the Judgment Beast and was about to fly away. Phantom Gaga Beast Burst Mode appears. What about the other 6 people? The digital world has undergone changes, so I asked them to go to the human world first to stabilize the situation. What about Little Dream Sister and Gang Lan? We're dealing with other Berserk Digimons. June Feng looked in one direction and saw Dilu Beast and Phil Beast fighting against a group of Digimons. At this moment, Duo Jia Beast woke up in a secluded state. Hey, Mao Qiu, we can't just watch. Well, let's go. It stood up, picked up the Aurora and jumped into the battlefield. Dean, this is up to us. You focus on dealing with the ruling beast. The 3 of them stood together. Puppy Beast, Puppy Roar. After a brief silence, the 3 of them exchanged a glance, and Mengyi took the initiative to bind the Puppy Beast to the enemy. Then, Phil Beast, Flash Rush. Lightning surrounded Phil Beast and it quickly rolled into a spiking ball to break out of the encirclement, gathering the bound Digimon together. Finally, with the command Duo Jia Beast, Full Power Metal Ball, Duo Jia Beast flew up and spat out a metal ball dozens of times larger than itself to bomb the herd. In an instant, they were blown up and turned into digital particles floating in the air. They will be reborn as digital eggs, right? Home run. The battle on the other side continued, as the Phantom Gaga beast had just blocked the justice kick of the Judgment Beast X. It took several steps back to stabilize its body, but before it could recover, it welcomed the electromagnetic cannon. It's truly an X antibody, but we can't be passively beaten either. Gaga, the moon god slash. A huge crescent-shaped energy wave rushed out of the meteor hammer, and the Judgment Beast quickly dodged. Good opportunity. Gauga, full moon meteor impact. The Phantom Gauga charged up and emitted a dazzling golden light, directly colliding with the ruling Beast X. The ruling beast quickly used the Justice Flying Kick, and two huge energies collided, causing a huge wave that could lift a person 10 meters away. The Aurora Trio blocked it with the massive body of the Duo Gauga. Dream Knight asked, Duo Jia Beast, how do you know that the Judgment Beast is controlled by the World Tree? Duo Jia Beast hesitated for a moment and said, I just judged it based on the lingering memories of my previous life for some unknown reason. So, how much did your previous life have to do with the World Tree? Menya speculated. Ah. Mao Qiu, how many things do you really have that I don't know? How do I know? Duo Jia Beast exclaimed in frustration. The energy fluctuations suddenly stopped, and the intense battle in the sky was nearing its end. The ruling Beast X took the opportunity to come to the front of the Phantom Gauga beast, punched him into the air, and completed the energy accumulation. A beam of light hit him head-on, but he was dodged and was about to hit the ground. The innocent Digimon, Little Heart. Aurora flew forward to save the Digimon, almost dying, and was caught by the Digimon. While Judge X was stunned, a huge hammer fell and hit Judge X, causing him to fall. The ground was smashed into a large pit, and the Judgment Beast X retreated to its original form. The Phantom Gauga beast was also exhausted, degenerated from burst mode to its original state, and slowly walked to the Judgment Beast. Junfeng jumped down and looked at the Judgment Beast with a serious expression, Magic Flame. There's a sneak attack. Junfeng took on this move head on. When he turned around, a group of Digimon stood between him and the Judgment Beast. The rescued Pichu beast jumped out of the Aurora's arms. The attack it had just made was, do not harm the Judgment Beast. They completely ignored the possibility that the opponent might use one move to annihilate themselves, and even forgot their own weakness. They only tried their best to protect the Digimon that had once protected them. Aurora was moved, Ganglon also rushed over to block it, and Menya had even cried. Junfeng was stunned and didn't know what to do for a moment. At this moment, behind them, the Beast of Judgment had already disappeared. He quickly came to the back of the Beast of Duoduogia and punched, wipe. Kill. The Bichio beast noticed and exclaimed in shock, the Judgment Beast. He heard it and was momentarily stunned, but his iron fist was about to hit the Duoduogia beast. Ah! Blood gushed out, and everyone couldn't accept the scene before them. The Duoduogia beast was intact. In other words, the ruling beast would strike an iron fist at the critical moment he fell to the ground in pain, but his eyes regained clarity. He refused everyone's help and sat down against a tree, murmuring to himself, when I was a unicorn, humans invaded the digital world. At that time, I was young and energetic, thinking that I could save the digital world like a hero. Cough. He supported his body as he was about to fall. I didn't listen to the advice of the village chief, the Bolt Beast, and ventured into the human camp alone. The result was obvious, I was captured. Everyone listened with bated breath, as if only the dying voice was left in the world. After the village chief heard this, he brought a group of digital beasts to the human camp and saved me. After coming out, I realized something was wrong. His tone changed to self-deprecating. I didn't even realize that the village chief was already under control at that time. He saved me with his remaining will. The audience looked at me in shock and said, later one night, he was going to attack me, but when he saw me turn around his eyes, he didn't hesitate to swing the axe towards himself. He sobbed and said, "That day when I participated in the rescue, all my numbers were controlled and I went crazy attacking the village. In the end, only I escaped, under the cover of the village chief. Later on, I discovered the origin village, where I settled down and finally met you. I traveled around and finally found something to protect," in a relieved tone. "I was trying to make amends, I'm not a hero at all. I just wanted to carry forward the village chief's legacy and cleanse myself of my sins from it." He looked at the Aurora group and said, "At that time, I swore that I would never believe in humans and would always be enemies with them. It wasn't until I saw you and risked my life to save the Digimon that I realized that humans were not all untrustworthy." His tone lowered as his massive body collapsed. "A crisis is about to occur, be prepared." The last few words were held back with all my strength, and he began to dissipate. Everyone was already crying uncontrollably. "We'll see each other again, right?" The Aurora caressed its already cold body, but felt the scorching warmth, as if announcing to the world that it had existed, shone, and stayed. "I won't do it," said Duo Jia Beast softly as he approached him. "What?" He was corroded by the X antibody, and the digital nucleus could no longer be restored. "I don't need to continue." Sure enough, the particles formed by the ruling beast collapsed in the air. Let the hero go with joy. After calming down, the few of them returned to the human world and looked at the rising sun in the sky. Perhaps a crisis was about to come. "Can we be prepared?" A few people exchanged a glance and said, "Yes, absolutely."